Hello, I think this is working. I'm just checking all the info is coming through. Give me a second, I'll just check if this is on. Right, I think this is on. Great. Okie doke. So, hello everyone. I'm just working this out. This new character designs. I was thinking of doing like a sort of a version of Screwtape Letters potentially. I'll see how I go. I might end up moving away from that, moving for a different kind of design or character. But for the moment, yes. So you can see I'm doing some rough sketches, and I'll be carrying on doing some sketches. And yes, I hope you enjoy as I carry along. I have my reference Wallace head, which I did for Wallace Hood. So, it won't be the exact same Ardmany design, of course, but I want to have, you can see it here, I want to have maybe that sort of plasticine-y, obviously, vibe to it, Will Vinton-y. Maybe a little more sharp-edged, because obviously in Screwtape Letters, the titular character, Screwtape, is obviously, supposed to be a bit more sharp-edged. He's like a demon, isn't he, in hell? So we'll give him more the sharper expression. But obviously plasticine's a softer material, so, and I kind of, if I make funny faces in front of the camera, it's because I'm actually looking at myself to get the right features and stuff, because I've got a kind of sort of face shape that I think will suit the film. Maybe cheekbones like so. The lips, how should I do these lips? I don't know. This is all very, very, very rough. Please don't judge. Bit of C.S. Lewis is always a bit of fun. I mean, obviously I've done various talks about C.S. Lewis and other things and stuff. I really quite like the author. Narnia is quite interesting. Not sure. So, I mean, Screwtape Letters might be a bit too dark. I'll see how I go through it. I mean, C.S. Lewis himself said that working on the book, quite a dark, sort of a heavier subject matter, so see how I go through it. But obviously this is just a test. I don't normally do these live streams. Let's see how this works. Give him some sharp side teeth there. Yeah, maybe one eye bigger than the other. It's a little, it's kind of been done in all stop motion. They're like the one eye bigger than the other is always a classic. Give him under his eyes, just to give it more look a bit like me. I've got kind of heavier eyelids, bottom eyelids. So use myself as a model a bit. He's supposed to be an older demon, so this one looks a little bit young in some ways. Thought I'd do something sort of live streaming through potentially the whole production if this is successful. So kind of funny, we had a documentation of the whole thing. Shadow under his eyes. I'm trying to also imagine how this would be in plasticine as well. The problem with big ears is it makes them immediately look younger. So I've got to be careful. I'd also look at some reference. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. I might move the camera as well. Position. Boom. This is really Wallace and Gromity, these teeth, gosh. I'm starting with a Wallacey look as a base. I might stick Wallace there so it's even more visible to you. Got other puppets here as well, which I'm going to take out the reference. There's a bit of reference here. Back there you go. I also need to think about what extract from the original book I want to go with. You know, sort of good parts. There was one part I saw on a YouTube clip just a day or two ago of I think when he gets so angry he becomes a centipede. So I thought that would be fun in stop motion. Do a stop motion centipede version of Screwtape. Obviously, with this the story, I don't necessarily have to have live action or real world scenes. I can literally just, in some ways, even stay on Screwtape and just see his expressions. Okay, that's more of a Wallacey and Gromit Screwtape, isn't it? It would be funny if you even if his eyes were the same size. Now you look maybe a bit too human if they're both the same size. Obviously, it worked well for this character, this little troll of London Bridge, the bulging eye. You see it across, obviously, a lot of kids' animation and stuff. One character with one bulging eye. I think characters like Doug to Naples, Earthworm Jim has one bulging eye as well. Massive pupil, tiny pupil. I can do maybe, let's see if I can make that bigger. That changes it. Yeah, yeah, that works. That works. It looks a bit manic there. That's the problem. You want him to look somewhat mature. I'm also obviously going off Wallace and Gromit, but also sort of was it various other animations with bulging eyes. Obviously, you've got creature comforts and stuff. I always, with every project I work on, I try and work off of like a specific film or something. So there was one interesting one because I've been recently studying some of Doug Naples' work. He's worked in a lot of stop motion. He did what did he do? Neverhood, and he did he was involved in, was it called Meters or something? Meters. Find it. Meters. So yeah, I like to base them off either films or directors or people I'm sort of looking into at whatever time. So obviously I was looking a lot into Nick Park for this one, and For this one, it was more a little bit of Ray Harryhausen's work on latex, and it's almost quite 90s. This character, 90s little McKinnon and Saunders. Is it Ian McKinnon and Peter Saunders? I think they're kind of designs a little bit, but it's also got its own thing going on. A lot of the stuff I saw in Australia as a kid, they had these kind of goofy stop motions, which you don't have so much anymore. That's it, Coghead and Meter to this sort of more wilder animation, more American animation. I'm not sure how to change the screen over without showing everything, so I'll see if I can actually do it. I'll go over here and I'll go display capture. Okay, cool, it might work. Okay, so if I go capture device, there you go, you can see it. Oh, cool, sweet. So you can see here a little bit off of this. If you've heard me mention Doug Sniffle before, I do apologize. I'm talking about him a little bit more recently because obviously I did the YouTube short about discussing some of his animated work and stuff, and obviously his themes, Christian themes. So kind of on that train at the moment, but I'm sure we'll be more focusing on the C.S. Lewis train. Obviously, as I move in towards honing in on the story and what I'm doing with Screwtape Letters, and also Kurosawa. I still have to get to Kurosawa and what his background. And I saw I really liked High and Low. I saw that recently. I say really liked it. I liked it. It wasn't perfect, but I love the sort of redemption elements in that film. Well, I felt there were redemption elements, at least. That's just me. I've not been following much films since I've been watching a few different ones. Following the Coen brothers a little bit, more the America trains, who inspires the people who influence the people who I'm inspired by. So Nick Park obviously was inspired by a lot of the British animation, like British films like Matter of Life and Death, and for the directors and people who worked on those films. And what was it? The guy who did Lawrence of Arabia, his body work. I should know. I shouldn't forget his name. He's so famous. But Laurence Olivier, and directed by not David Yates. I can't remember. I feel bad. And who else? Coen Brothers. Oh yeah, and Nick Park's influenced by that other film. Was it Brief Encounter? Was another one. I don't know. Doug's also influenced by what was it called? The Coen Brothers stuff. I think. Barton Fink, was it? Barton Fink and what was the other one? Barton Fink and Hudsucker Proxy, which I saw actually yesterday, so that's fun. There we go. That's looking a bit more different, isn't it? And I should probably look at actual actors for some of this stuff. Kind of using my own face, I think, can work well enough sometimes. Could I do little tiny horns, maybe? I don't know. Kind of want to do something, don't you? Same time, I want to make it easy enough to animate, so I don't want to overdo it with the horns. Just do something simple. Maybe something simple for this one. See how that looks. There we go, nice and simple. Oh, you're stuck on this. Sorry about that. In some ways, this might be easy to work on a computer on my tablet, so I wouldn't have to copy out so much versions of this. Pulling faces for the thing. I'm going to make them really wide this time. Make my life really. I'm trying to make my also life easy for myself as an animator, and not go too crazy with some of these designs. Keeping in mind I'm using plasticine. I do not need to make my life more difficult than it needs to be. Although I probably will stick to the larger mouth design that Wallace and Gromit boasts, and have like a way of attaching these that is preferable. I thought about doing this in latex, and I suppose it might be worth looking into some of what Ray Harryhausen did for his films. She's quite the sort of a semi-master of latex, and they don't use latex anymore. But I find recently I can't really use silicone anymore. I think I got an allergen because I used it so often for my final film in a little tiny studio, and I stopped being able to use it as much. It might be psychosomatic of the amount of stress under that work, heavy workload, constant workload. I don't know. It could be psychosomatic, but I don't know. I can't use it anymore, really. Silicone, without stinging my eyes. So I tend to stick to latex these days. It does degrade over time, though, so that's not the best. But we do what we can. Now, while I'm doing these designs, I'm also thinking about how it's going to work animating it. So I'm always imagining grabbing the head. It worked fine with this puppet, but in some ways this is like the perfect design because you can really see with the head, you can just sort of move the eyebrow. It's just so easy. There's no need to do clever chiseling like I remember on the film Chuck Steele, which I worked on. There were characters with more chiseled faces, which did take up more time to move things about a bit and sharpen things up. Whereas this is just a very much simpler design, quite iconic, but works quite well. I think quite a clear design, and the mouth can come out off and on quite easily. It's quite nice and big, so it's definitely animator friendly. So if I can do something like that, it might be a good idea. In fact, in some ways, the smaller the mouth, the harder it is to animate. If I'm doing is using plasticine, really, so it might be benefit from a big, broad, proud mouth. Something like this might do the trick. Usually some of the sketchbooks have bits of crud on them and stuff. And I think it's from, I go to McDonald's with this sketchbook sometimes, and I go to have various meals, and I'm kind of eating and dropping bits of food on them, so they get stained. So I apologize for that. It kind of makes it more tasty, doesn't it? Makes the art more tasty, maybe. Oh yeah, that maybe something like that. Oh yeah. Like a bull or something. I'm going to type in bull in my designs, maybe. I'm going to do simplest design I can think of first, and then obviously I can add elements. But obviously the more sharper elements I add, the more difficult it might be to work on the final film. I will just check. That looks all good. I will double check that I'm not getting any comments. No, there's no comments from what I can see. Okay. Great. One person watching. It's probably me. Okay. In future streams, I might do some music in the background as well. So I'll see. I think I might have some classic music to play, actually. I'll see. Have a look. live streams. Here we go. Filmmaking. Great, I think I've got some here. Type in medieval. Um, I think I'll leave it there. It's just good to do a bit of work and then to let things play. I think I'm just a bit nervous of the camera, to be honest. It's on me, so I'm not as creative with my ideas as I normally am. So I might do a bit more work on my own. Feeling a bit freer, so the camera doesn't feel like oppressing me as much. But I'm sure I'm going to get into it more. I'll hopefully, this is the plan for the head, so I can hopefully add to it as time goes on, and we'll see what we can do. Right, so hope you enjoyed, and might leave it there. Ciao. How do I finish this? Here we go.